The illusion of busy, decoding the silent rejection. Men, it is time to wake up and face a reality that most guys are too afraid to acknowledge. In the modern dating landscape, a woman will almost never look you in the eye and say, I am not interested in you. Direct rejection is uncomfortable. It creates tension, it leads to awkward confrontations, and frankly, it closes a door that she might want to leave cracked open just in case her first choice doesn't work out. This is the silent rejection, a slow, agonizing fade where she keeps you in her orbit, not because she wants to be with you, but because your attention validates her. She isn't being cruel in her own mind, she's being nice by avoiding a harsh truth. But that niceness is a poison that drains your time, kills your momentum, and erodes your self respect. Your job as a man isn't to sit around hoping she'll eventually see your worth. Your job is to be the investigator of your own life. You must read between the lines of her behavior because her words are designed to keep you comfortable, while her actions are designed to keep you at a distance. If you can't spot these subtle shifts, you'll find yourself 3 years down the line wondering why you're still trying with someone who never once put you first. The most common lie men tell themselves to stay in this cycle of delusion is the myth of the busy schedule. Let's get one thing straight right now. Nobody on this planet is too busy for the things they truly desire. We live in an era where everyone's phone is glued to their hand 24/7. If she can find the time to post a story on Instagram, grab drinks with her coworkers, or go to the gym for 2 hours, she has the time to send a text or see you. When she tells you she's slammed this week for the third month in a row, she isn't telling you about her workload. She is telling you exactly where you rank in her hierarchy of priorities. You are currently behind her career, her friends, her hobbies, and probably even her Netflix queue. A man who understands his own value knows that he is not a backup plan or a maybe. He does not audition for a spot in a woman's life. When you accept the too busy excuse without question, you are essentially telling her that your time is worth nothing and that you are willing to wait indefinitely for her scraps. This isn't being a patient guy, it's being a man who lacks boundaries. The truth is that interest is always revealed through effort. When a woman is genuinely excited about a man, she doesn't just find time, she creates it. She will move mountains to make a date happen. She will suggest alternative days if she truly has a conflict. She will show up. Therefore, the absence of effort is not a rough patch or a sign that she needs to warm up. The absence of effort is the presence of disinterest. It is a loud, clear signal that the investment is one-sided. Marcus Aurelius taught us that if something is not right, we shouldn't do it, and if it's not true, we shouldn't say it. Applying that here, if it isn't a hell yes from her, it's a no for you. Stop lying to yourself by romanticizing her distance as some kind of mystery you need to solve. There is no mystery. There is only a lack of priority. By walking away the moment the effort drops, you aren't being mean or arrogant. You are simply aligning your reality with hers. If she has made you a low priority, you must make her a zero priority. Think about the mental toll this takes on you. I have seen disciplined, strong men lose their edge because they spent months chasing a ghost. I knew a man who was the definition of a catch, smart, athletic, and successful. Yet he spent nearly a year pursuing a woman who never once initiated a conversation. He planned every date, sent every first text, and made every effort, thinking that if he just showed her enough consistency, she would eventually see him. What actually happened? He became a background character in her life. He was the safe, reliable guy she could call when she was bored or needed an ego boost, while she gave her true passion and time to men who didn't even try half as hard. The moment he finally stopped reaching out and realized he was auditioning for a role that was already filled, his confidence came rushing back. He realized he had been holding his breath for a woman who wasn't even looking at him. You cannot convince, bribe, or nice your way into someone's heart. They either see your worth from the jump or they don't. This is why we focus on being mentally and emotionally bulletproof. To be a man of respect, you must be willing to be thought of as foolish or impatient by those who benefit from your indulgence. Epictetus warned that if you want to improve, you have to be okay with people not understanding your boundaries. If she thinks you're cold because you stopped chasing her when she stopped trying, let her think that. Your power lies in your ability to choose yourself every single time. A man's highest currency is his time and his attention. When you give those things to someone who treats them as optional, you are devaluing yourself. The second you notice that she makes time for everyone but you, the chase must end. Not because you're angry, but because you are a man of high standards who only invests where there is a return. That is how you command respect, not by asking for it, but by being man enough to walk away from anyone who doesn't give it to you. The language of truth, why behavior is the only metric that matters. Men, we need to talk about the most dangerous addiction in the dating world, the addiction to sweet talk. This is the trap of believing a woman's words while completely ignoring her behavior, and it is the fastest way to lose your power. A woman might tell you, I really like you, or I've never felt this way about anyone, or the classic, you're such an amazing guy. These words feel good. They soothe your ego and give you hope. But if those words are followed by her canceling plans at the last minute, taking 48 hours to reply to a simple text, or being too tired to see you while she's simultaneously posting Instagram stories of herself out at a club with her friends, then those words are absolutely meaningless. You have to understand that words are cheap. They cost her nothing to say. Sometimes she says them to keep you as an option. Sometimes she says them because she's afraid of your reaction if she's honest. And sometimes she says them just to be polite. But a man of high value doesn't live in the polite world. He lives in the real world. You must adopt the stoic mindset of believing behavior over speech every single time. Actions are the only language that cannot lie. When her words say yes, but her actions say no, the answer is always no. I have seen countless men turn their own hope into a prison. They spend weeks waiting for a date that never happens, staring at their phones, dissecting every emoji, and making excuses for why she's being distant. They tell themselves, she said she likes me, so she must just be stressed at work, or she's just not a big texter. Meanwhile, the evidence is screaming the truth. She is making time for everything and everyone else except for you. When a woman is genuinely interested, her interest is not a mystery that requires a Sherlock Holmes investigation to solve. It is expressed through consistent effort, physical presence, and a desire to be near you. If she says she's into you but makes zero effort to actually be in your space, her words are nothing more than background noise. The moment you start arguing with her about her lack of effort, you have already lost. Don't give her a long emotional speech about how you feel or how she's disrespecting your time. That isn't masculine strength, that's a plea for attention. A man who knows his worth doesn't negotiate for interest. He sees the evidence, accepts the reality, and exits the situation without a word. He understands that flattery is a distraction, but evidence is the truth. When the evidence shows she isn't invested, he moves on without looking back because he knows his time is his most precious asset and he refuses to spend it on a dead end. This brings us to the cold reality of minimal effort and zero initiation. You have to realize that low effort is never an accident. It is a deliberate choice. When she sends you one word, dry replies, or gives you vague, non committal answers like maybe or we'll see, when you try to lead and make plans, she is testing your boundaries. She is seeing how little she can give while still keeping you around. The biggest mistake men make here is doubling down. They think that if they send a bigger gift, write a longer text, or give her more compliments, they can buy her interest back. But that is a catastrophic error. In fact, it does the exact opposite. It makes her lose even more respect for you. You are teaching her that she can treat you like an afterthought, and you will reward her with more attention. You aren't building a relationship. You're providing a free service of validation and convenience. You are effectively telling her that you have no other options and that your self esteem is so low that you'll settle for the scraps she throws off her table. A masculine man does not reward a lack of interest with an increase in pursuit. He matches her energy. If she gives nothing, he gives nothing back. The ultimate test of any connection is the initiation test. Ask yourself this: if you stopped reaching out today, would you ever hear from her again? If the answer is probably not, then there was never a real connection to begin with. You were just the one performing a solo act while she watched from the sidelines. Many men make excuses, saying she's just shy or she's traditional and wants the man to lead. Let's be very clear. Even the most traditional, shy woman on earth will find a way to make it easy for the man she truly desires. She will send a thinking of you text, she will like your photo, or she will find some subtle excuse to bridge the gap. Carrying the entire weight of a relationship on your shoulders isn't a sign of your romantic strength. It's a sign of your servitude. You are working a job you aren't getting paid for. Use silence as your greatest tool. Step back, stop the good morning texts, and see if she fills the space you've left behind. If the silence remains, that is your answer. A man of value does not starve for scraps while convincing himself he's at a feast. He would rather be alone and hungry for a real connection than full on the fake validation of a woman who doesn't truly want him. Stop being the guy who does all the work for a woman who does none of the wanting. Walk away and save your energy for someone who matches your fire. The ghost in the room, distracted presence, and the buffer zone. Men, you need to understand that a woman's most valuable currency isn't her time, it's her attention. When a woman is genuinely captivated by you, the rest of the world ceases to exist. Her phone stays in her purse. The noise of the crowded room fades into the background, and her focus is locked on you. This is because attraction creates a natural tunnel vision. But when she is not interested, her presence becomes scattered, fragmented, and hollow. If you are sitting across from her and she is constantly scrolling through her feed, checking notifications the second they light up, or scanning the room to see who else is there, she is sending you a loud, clear message. Anything else is more interesting than being here with you. Do not fall into the trap of making excuses for her. Don't tell yourself she's just stressed with work or expecting an important call. A woman who is into you will treat her time with you as a sanctuary, not a chore to be managed while multitasking. If you find yourself competing with a smartphone for her eye contact, you have already lost the battle for her respect. A man of value does not beg for a woman's focus. If it isn't given freely, he recognizes that his presence is being devalued and he acts accordingly. Tolerate being background noise once, and you teach her that your time is worth nothing. This lack of focus often manifests in a more strategic way: the avoidance of alone time. This is one of the most subtle yet devastating signs of disinterest. When a woman truly likes you, she craves intimacy. She wants those quiet moments where it's just the two of you, where the connection can actually deepen and the chemistry can catch fire. If she consistently avoids these scenarios, she is building a buffer zone to keep you at arm's length. Watch her patterns closely. If every time you suggest a one-on-one dinner, she counters with, "Let's invite my friends," or "My sister might come along," she is strategically sabotaging any chance for intimacy. She is using group hangouts as a shield to ensure that things never get too personal or too real. She might be perfectly happy to hang out with you in a crowd because you're a nice guy and it's a fun night out, but she is actively preventing the bond from moving beyond the surface level. This isn't a fear of commitment or being shy. It is a tactical decision to keep you in the friend zone or the backup plan category. Many men make the fatal mistake of taking this avoidance as a challenge. They think, if I can just get her alone for one night, I can win her over. They try harder, they plan better dates, and they become more persistent. But this is the exact opposite of the masculine path. You must recognize that this avoidance is rejection in a polite social disguise. She doesn't want to be the bad guy by saying no, so she says yes, but with others. By doing this, she gets to keep your attention and validation without ever having to give you the intimacy you're looking for. A man who respects himself does not chase someone who is actively hiding from a deeper connection with him. If your suggestions for quality one on one time are met with a let's make it a group thing for the third time in a row, the conversation is over. She has made her decision, and now you must make yours. Accept the signal for what it is, stop trying to break through a wall she deliberately built, and redirect that energy towards someone who is actually excited to be alone with you. Conclusion: the ultimate power of the exit. At the end of the day, men, the signs of disinterest are never as complicated as we pretend they are. We only make them complicated because the truth is uncomfortable to swallow. We want to believe there is a hidden reason or a secret hurdle we can overcome. But the reality is simple: minimal effort, zero initiation, distracted presence, and the avoidance of alone time are not isolated accidents. They are consistent patterns, and patterns do not lie. Your happiness and your mental health depend entirely on the quality of your thoughts and your willingness to face the truth. If you build your romantic life on a foundation of illusions and wishful thinking, you will end up emotionally drained and spiritually bankrupt. But if you root yourself in reality, no matter how cold that reality feels, you protect your dignity and your future. You are not on this earth to convince, beg, or negotiate with anyone to see your worth. You are here to live as a man of value, to build your empire, and to maintain your standards. Your job is to lead your life and allow the women who truly recognize your value to step forward and match your energy. Freedom is not found in winning her over. Freedom is won by disregarding the things that lie outside of your control. You cannot control her level of interest, her upbringing, or her internal desires. However, you have absolute 100% control over your exit. The most powerful thing a man can do is walk away when the deal is no longer fair. You don't do it with bitterness, you don't do it with a dramatic social media post, and you don't do it with a long, angry text message. You walk away with the quiet, unshakable certainty that your time is the most valuable asset you own, and you refuse to waste another second of it on someone who treats you like an option. When you master the ability to walk away from low effort situations, you become a magnet for high value experiences. Protect your energy, trust the patterns you see, and never be afraid to leave a table where respect is no longer being served.